that. Today's session is being recorded. The recorded version of the webinar will be made available on eFolder's YouTube channel. We will also make copies of the slides available to those who registered for the event. With over 100 people registered for today's session, we've put all participants in listen-only mode. You can enjoy the audio portion of today's event by either streaming it on your computer or by dialing in over the phone. Today's webinar follows a logical flow. First, we'll review some of the big market forces that are transforming the cloud and technology landscape. We will then briefly introduce eFolder Cloudfinder and provide you with a look at searching for and recovering deleted cloud data. Following this overview, Jonas will provide a 10-minute demonstration of Cloudfinder search and recovery functionality. We will then discuss several core use cases for the service. Questions are strongly encouraged throughout. We've planned a special Q&A section at the end of today's discussion, but you may submit questions as we go along, and we will try to address your questions on the fly. Now, let me introduce Jonas. Jonas Robledo is a member of the eFolder sales engineering team. Over the past 10 years, he has empowered partners to thrive throughout their software implementations. Jonas has been a subject matter expert for successful startups such as Lasso Logic and Packtrap, and has participated in mid-market and enterprise campaigns, including Dell Software. Jonas enables partners to maximize value from eFolder's award-winning products and services. Jonas, thanks so much for joining us, and welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good morning. So let's jump into some of the trends that are affecting not only partners' clients on the call today, but also the partners who've joined us as well. So this likely is not news to anyone in the room, but when you see the numbers, they're truly staggering. There are tectonic shifts underway with the shift to the cloud. Even large, savvy vendors such as IBM are being impacted by the rapid adoption of cloud services. And the numbers are pretty amazing. By 2018, total spending on cloud services will be $180 billion. Even today, the numbers are enormous, with $13 billion being spent today on the cloud. And there's always this sort of trickle-down effect that happens in the tech world, where enterprises are the early adopters, and then small and medium-sized businesses are to follow. But with the cloud, it seems that small and medium-sized businesses are quite far along. And already in 2014, over 50% of computing workloads are done in the cloud. So, you know, part of this big shift is that the cloud has made technology much more affordable. The cloud is scalable and it's easy to use. You no longer have to invest in expensive hardware. Maintenance is no longer an issue, and so you see a lot of small and medium-sized businesses shifting their services to the cloud. So this is definitely something that a lot of partners are witnessing today. Just some more statistics on sort of this trend that's taking place. The cloud is no longer new, but it's, you know, this mass market phenomenon. Over 80% of businesses are using at least one cloud application. So this may be anything from Office 365 to Salesforce to Evernote. All of these services are likely you've seen in your client environments. As for growth, it continues strongly in cloud, while you know, the growth in on-premises applications has fallen sharply. And the question you really have to ask yourself is, if you were a new business owner today, would you put your Exchange server on site, or would you just go with Office 365? And the answer is that you would likely go with Office 365. And IT channel partners are witnessing this every single day. But the key to understanding and being the key is understanding the changes in the direction of the wave, and then besides understanding the wave, you actually want to ride this wave and figure out how can you add value to your client's cloud applications. So one thing that a lot of companies are not even aware of is that just because data is stored in the cloud does not mean it's safe. You know, there's this big myth that data loss is a thing of the past when you have your files stored in Office 365 or Google Apps or Salesforce or Box, and that's simply not the reality. Yes, outages and downtime from on-site mishaps, like someone unplugging the server, are those types of downtime experiences are a thing of the past. But And so are the problems, associated with bad hardware, failed hard drives, motherboards, faulty cooling systems. But the fact is the cloud is much more resilient and reliable. But the biggest threat to data is not the actual hardware. It's not outages. The biggest threat to data is users. And users are still users, no matter if they're on-premise or in the cloud. So in the cloud, it's really no different. It's the new production environment, and once data is deleted, after a certain period of time, that data will be gone forever. So while some enterprise-level cloud applications, have really rich and configurable data retention features, nearly all cloud applications designed for the small and medium-sized business today lack built-in backup and restore features. And when you have so much confidential and valuable business content living in the cloud, small and medium-sized businesses need adequate retention and recovery capabilities. In fact, 32% of respondents in a recent study reported losing data in cloud applications. So just looking at the screen, if you consider that more than half of survey respondents say their organization currently transfers sensitive or confidential data to the cloud, and 32% of businesses are reporting losing data, there's a significant chance that really sensitive data, whether it's contact records, invoices, payment information, that some of this data is being lost. And that's a risk that a small or medium-sized business simply can't afford. It's a compliance risk, it's a legal risk, and it causes serious productivity, can cause serious productivity issues. So really what we're seeing is that the rapid adoption of cloud applications has created two problems. The first is that businesses today, even though they have moved a lot of their applications to the cloud, risk data loss, data fragmentation, and compliance violations as more workloads move from on-premises servers to the cloud. As you start to have more workloads happening in cloud, the potential for data loss is growing. And then the second problem is that IT channel partners are seeking to replace traditional revenue streams from on-premises managed services as their clients rapidly adopt cloud applications. So the cloud is much more affordable, and the question is, where do IT service providers, where can they achieve margin? If your clients are looking at a solution like Office 365, which has a price tag, which can have a price tag of as low as $5 per user, IT partners have to figure out, where can I add value, where can I make a little bit more revenue, and protect my clients and still act as an expert with their different applications. So this is where Cloudfinder fits in. Cloudfinder is a cloud-to-cloud backup solution, and it provides backup, search, and restore for leading cloud applications such as Office 365, Google Apps, Salesforce, and Box. And Cloudfinder prevents data loss in the cloud, enables search across multiple cloud applications, and helps organizations control and manage their data better. Cloudfinder is a natural add-on for any managed service provider. The service is a critical enabler for managed cloud applications. For partners to succeed, they need to add value, expertise, and labor on top. But backup, search, and restore are a vital starting point for managing cloud applications. And so a picture always tells 1,000 words. So how is it that Cloudfinder works? Adding Cloudfinder to your client's deployments is actually quite easy. If you have clients using Office 365, Google Apps, Salesforce, and Box, you simply log in with the admin credentials from the Cloud app on the Cloudfinder dashboard. Select the users that you want to back up, and the rest happens in the background. Cloud data from the production cloud application gets backed up on eFolder's tamper-proof safe haven, providing a second redundant copy of the data. From there, clients benefit from the ability to search across different cloud services, users, and data type. This mitigates the problem of data sprawl and builds in a control layer for the IT department. Restores are also very easy. Since restored data gets recovered right back in the native cloud application where it belongs, or it can be downloaded by the admin or restored to a different user or even to a different application. And so one of the most important Cloudfinder capabilities is the ability to back up and protect multiple cloud applications at once. As businesses are likely not just using one cloud application. They could be using a host of them. It could be their Office 365 for all their productivity applications. It could be their Salesforce for their customer relationship management, and they could be using Box for document management. So being able to protect a variety of different cloud applications from one product is actually pretty crucial. when businesses are employing multiple cloud applications. So each cloud application is unique, but the theme is the same. Cloudfinder backs up everything that a user may delete or inadvertently destroy. So in Box, this could be the files and folders. In Salesforce, this could be your records, your custom objects. Office 365, obviously, it's your emails, your calendars, your files. So there's a lot of data, but being able to back up that data, search across that data is really important. So how do you search for and recover deleted cloud data? Well, there's a few different features that Cloudfinder has that really make this quite easy. So once the data is backed up in the Cloudfinder service, it is infinitely searchable and discoverable. All content backed up to Cloudfinder is indexed and searchable, including the contents of emails, the attachments, and so on. In addition to all the contents of the documents, all of these documents, because we index them, you're going to have a rapid, instant full-text search. And then the search results, you have a host of different filters that you can use. They can be sorted by date, relevance, user, so it can be narrowed down by specific users. They can be grouped by the type of files that you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for specifically documents. And all of this really speeds up the productivity of admins and users who have lost their data. And the beauty of Cloudfinder, going back to that multi-layer support, is that if you're searching across all these different cloud applications. So on the screen, we're doing a search for contract, and you're actually seeing data from not only Salesforce but also in Box. So it's a multi-layer search functionality. And then the second thing is that the value of a backup is how quickly and how accurately you can actually restore data. So with Cloudfinder, narrow batches of content and content types can be easily selected for restore or download. In most cases, for restores, you'll want to restore that data back into the application. So you're restoring data that once was in Salesforce back into Salesforce. But with Cloudfinder, you can actually restore data from one service to a different service. So if you have a file that resides in Box and you want to move it into Google Drive, that's absolutely possible with Cloudfinder. Same thing applies for migrations. If you have a client that's using Google Apps and they want to move to Office 365, it's easy to migrate all of their email and their calendars and their contacts all with a few clicks of the button. And then the other thing is that you can actually restore to point in time. So you can restore, you can say, I want to go back to February 27th. And you can do this on a very granular level. And then from a reporting perspective, all backup jobs are logged and their status is clearly noted as in progress or completed. And all of these logs are created for admin user activities, which ensures security and transparency. So detailed configuration is also standard. So if you sign up with us, we're obviously going to help you get set up and running and unlocking that rich reporting. So this really fits into any type of sophisticated client environment. So now that we've gone over the different features of a few of the different features of Cloudfinder, I want to hand the ball over to Jonas, who's actually going to take you through a 10-minute demo of what it looks like to restore deleted cloud data. So Jonas, you're still with us?
I sure am.
Great. So I'm going to switch the screen over to you.
Great. Thanks, Carlo.
All right.
All right. You should be able to see my screen shortly, which displays the Cloudfinder dashboard. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We got it.
Excellent. So to say again what Carlo has been going over, there's just a quick high-level overview of your services. In this case, my demo environment is backing up Office 365, Google Apps, and Salesforce. We get the timestamp of the latest backup, and it tells the administration email address and the services that are being backed up for each platform. To the right, we have a quick reporting gadget here, which tells the status of the latest backups and the restores. We'll be referring to this restore dashboard after we go through a few examples. And then below we show the backups by file type. So there's a nice pie graph here, and the exposure, private versus public, and then the relative size of these documents. We'll just jump right into the first example and highlight the search feature. So here, as Carlo mentioned, there are a number of filters that we can utilize. For example, I could see all the Microsoft Office 365 data all at once, 28 items found, or I could search across document types. You can show all emails, for example. And then going a little bit further down the line, I could show some of the users and how many. You could see quickly how many documents and data items they have for each of the users. Or I could filter by collection. These are folders that have been backed up. So as you can see, currently there are 113 items. But one thing that Carlo pointed out in his presentation was that you can go for a date range from a certain date in the past, January 12th to maybe February 16th. That range is a little bit too aggressive. Great. So you can narrow down between a specific date range, or a very common example is going back to a snapshot or a particular date range. So you can see that this interface is quick and easy to understand, meaning the learning curve is very small to get this going. So it's a very powerful, intuitive tool. I could select any number of items and then go through a restore, which would send it back to the cloud, whether it be from the origination point or, as Carlo mentioned, cross-platform restore, going from Google Apps to OneDrive or vice versa. This is the search function. You can easily search and restore items. So let's walk through an example there with Office 365. So I'm logged into my demo account here that we've created to illustrate Cloudfinder's capabilities. And I'm just going to select Outlook and go through a quick example. Here I have an email that says, "Delete me, I dare you." So let's call their bluff and throw that in the trash. So now this inbox is empty. And then I can, I'll just refresh just to make sure, nothing in this hand, nothing in that hand. And then we will go back to Cloudfinder. And right now I already have the filter set for email, but there's 66 items, so what do I do next? How can I narrow down my example? Let's just type the name, one of the strings. Let's say Brett. Brett was a name that was actually sent by Brett, that email. So let's see what we got here. So there's the email I'm looking for, "Delete me, I dare you." So we will go there and select Restore. And we're going to go back to Office 365. And we'll restore to the user. You can see auto-completes there. And let's call this our webinar. Restore, webinar, restore. So proceed. And it's just confirmation here. It says, "Your restore was successfully initiated. View your dashboard to see when it is done." So let's do that. We'll close here, and we'll click over on our dashboard. Remember, I told you we were going to go back to the restore gadget. So here it is, and checking the time. So this is not completed yet. We'll just give it a moment there. Okay, could be a minute or two sometimes. So while that's baking, we can go look at Salesforce. Another example here's a Salesforce installation, another demo environment. And then we can select any object here that we want, but for this example, let's choose leads. And this one looks good, Pamela Owenby. We'll select that one. And then maybe this, I find that this record, maybe I want to edit it, but oh my gosh, I accidentally deleted it. Okay, now that record is gone, right? And then, so these are the pain points for Office 365 and Salesforce, that the trash is emptied after 30 days. And so in order to recover that information, if I really needed it, I'd have to call Salesforce directly, and that would run me thousands of dollars to get that done. So let's look for that piece of data, that lead. Go back to search here, O&B, and the results come back, and there's the lead here. The Salesforce item you can see there. And then we'll click here, and then action restore. And most of the time, we're going to update existing records. You know, if we can always create a new record, but that will make it harder for my administrator in most cases, you know, to have duplicates. But I'm just going to update existing records in this case, and click proceed and restore. And we'll go check the dashboard again. Refresh. Completed. So let's go back to here. I expected these to be completed right away, but let me just log out and log back in and see if that helps this display to refresh. All right. Just checking the status. This is where you can edit the settings or the authority that we use to back up the data. So you can update this at any time. For Salesforce, you can initiate a backup at any time if you wish. And then you can update any changed passwords for your administrator there. And as well, we just released support for multiple domains. So if I have another domain that I want to back up with Office 365, I can add that service. Or if I have multiple instances for Salesforce, I can do that. While we're waiting for these restores, are there any questions in the chat interface, Carlo?
I would just go through the three that you have, Jonas. It could just be that.
Oh, sure, get them cooking. Sure.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I think it's just happening in a batch is what's taking place.
Yeah, that's probably. So I'll go through the App Exchange here. I mean, I'm going to choose this email, or I could choose anyone that I want. So I'll just choose App Exchange and throw that away. All right, so that email is gone. I'll go back to search here. There we go. select that item, restore. Here's where you have the choice to choose whichever platform you want to go to. And we'll call this Webinar Restore as well, or Webinar 2, so we can distinguish. And then we'll proceed. Oh, user, excuse me. That is Salesforce, and then proceed. I've just named that Salesforce for the Google Apps account. All right, so while we're here, we can examine the user restore interface. We've gone through the search restore interface a couple of times, so we'll take a look at the user. So it shows the platforms where that we're backing up, and then you can select any number of users. So I could unselect this one or this one if I wish. So it'll warn me if I, yes.
So Jonas, while we wait for those restores to take place, we do have a question from Austin. And Austin
Excellent.
is asking, we have been asked to provide this to prospects. How can we provide this? I'm assuming he's talking about the actual demo. So
yeah.
maybe you can speak to that.
Sure. So you can go to cloudfinder.com. And then you can start a free trial.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. I think he's asking about actually doing a demo for clients.
Right.
Is that we? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted. I see what.
No, you didn't. You didn't. So there's a couple of ways, right? If you're a managed service provider or reseller, you can set up a partner account, or you can engage with any member of our team, and we can work with you to demonstrate the product. So you can set it up yourself, or you can give us a call and schedule, and we can demonstrate in front of you, in front of your customer. Does that answer the question? There's two methods.
Yeah. I think that definitely answers.
Yeah. Either way, we're happy to participate. If you want us on the call with your end customer, then we will follow your lead. You'll direct us, and we'll either mention Cloudfinder and eFolder, or we'll just act as an advocate or consultant for your company. Or it's just as easy to go ahead and sign up as a partner, and then you can choose to have an NFR account where you can back up to 25 users. So you can set up your customer that way as well, on your own. We have videos to show that too on our YouTube channel under eFolder videos. On YouTube, you can just search for Cloudfinder, and we have videos that walk you through the process step by step.
Great.
Any other questions that we've encountered?
Yeah, so we actually have Jennifer is asking about pricing, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. And so, Jonas, I think what you've taken us through is, basically you've now deleted data that was residing in Office 365, Salesforce, and Google Apps. You searched through that data, showed some of the really rich, search features and the ability to perform restores. Yeah, so I think we're still waiting on those restores to take place. Is that right, Jonas?
Yeah, when I checked last time, it's still in process.
Okay, so I'll switch over to my screen in the meantime and talk the audience through the rest of this presentation. And you just let us know if once those restores take place.
I'll keep watching it. Sure. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to show my screen. Okay, so great. So for those of you on the call who are wondering how Cloudfinder is priced, eFolder sells to channel partners on a wholesale basis. All of our products are sold through the IT channel. So we actually do not publish our pricing to end users. So that's a benefit of working with a company that it works exclusively with the IT channel. Cloudfinder's price starts at $1.75 per user. it has volume pricing, so as you actually acquire more users, your pricing per user will go down. A user is considered, it's per cloud application, so if you have a user that's using Salesforce, Google Apps, and Box, that would be 3 user licenses. And each application or each user license it includes 30 gigabytes of storage. That also includes unlimited retention, so especially for clients who are operating in sensitive verticals and need to retain data for long periods of time. This is a great that's a great thing to have. And obviously, all the features shown on today's demo are included: your instant full text search, your rapid restore, your instant restores, and your ability to search across different cloud applications. All of that is included when you purchase Cloudfinder. And you're heavily resourced by eFolder itself. So in terms of sales and marketing support, technical support, and demoing from a system engineer. As Jonas explained, if you ever need Cloudfinder to be demoed for a client, we're happy to get on the phone with you. And we're happy to get on the phone with you and your client, and we can act as eFolder or act as a representative of the product that you're selling. So we're there to support you. We're there to make sure that you're successful, and and as you grow your Cloudfinder business, your cloud backup business, we'll make sure to be there for you. So great. So just to talk a little bit more about pricing and how most of our partners today are pricing Cloudfinder. They're purchasing starting at $1.75 per user, and then they're reselling this service at up to 2 times or 3 times markup. There's a few different ways you can actually price and package the service. For one, you can sell it as an unmanaged cloud service. So this could be setting up the deployment for your client, making sure that it's backing up the cloud application, but not actually managing the cloud-to-cloud backup service or doing that on an as-needed basis. So we do have partners who do this, who will deploy Cloudfinder to their customers, and then when their clients actually need something to be restored or need to find something, that's when the partner will step back in. You can also deploy Cloudfinder as a managed service. So this is what the majority of our partners are doing today. They have clients who are using Office 365 or using Salesforce or using Box or Google Apps, and they'll go to those clients and say, hey, I don't know if you know this, but retention is very light, and users are the #1 source of data loss. I want to make sure you're protected in moving to your cloud applications. So they bundle it. They will add Cloudfinder as a managed service to those deployments. And what we see in the market today is that going for about $4 per user per month. And then finally, you can bundle Cloudfinder into your different cloud applications. So if you're deploying Office 365 or Google Apps or Box or Salesforce already for your clients, you can include this cloud-to-cloud backup functionality with your bundle managed services. And in this scenario, Cloudfinder would not necessarily be a line item or something that you're billing separately for. It could just be part of your bundled managed services. And we've seen partners charge up to $5 per user per month. Again, it's not a discrete cost that they're disclosing to their clients. It's something that they talk about. They talk about when renewal time comes around. So that's another option available to you. So let's dive into some questions and discussion that's taking place. Austin is asking, we understand the pricing is per application. Austin, that's correct. As I just mentioned, Cloudfinder, each user license is specific to a cloud application. So if you do have a user that's using 3 different cloud services, that would take up 3 user licenses. Let's see. We have Justin asking. Justin is asking, is Cloudfinder multi-tenant? So as Jonas explained in the demo, we just added a feature where you can manage multiple instances of a cloud application. So you could have multiple clients in one Cloudfinder interface. You could have a Salesforce for one client, a Salesforce for another client, all in one interface. So that's the extent of our multi-tenancy today. And we have Ben is asking, where does Cloudfinder back up its data to? Cloudfinder, all of our data is backed up to eFolder data centers. We have 4 data centers. We have a data center in Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada, Atlanta, Georgia, Salt Lake City, Utah, and Amsterdam, Netherlands. So depending on your location and your client's location, and possibly their preference as well, we can determine and work with you to figure out where that data should be backed up to. Again, all of that is running through our cloud environment. So, and we have several guarantees around backing up your data.
Carlo?
Yeah.
Hi. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just shared the YouTube video. You probably have it in your chat interface. And we can send it to the participants. It shows you exactly how to set up multi-tenancy.
Okay, great. Yeah, we'll definitely pass that along and pass that along to our audiences as a follow-up. Austin is asking, marketing, collateral, what is available? Are there case studies available? So that's a great question, Austin. We are on the cusp of releasing our Cloudfinder Partner Playbook. The Cloudfinder Partner Playbook, just like our Anchor Partner Playbook, is chock full of marketing collateral. So that includes your brochures, it includes white papers that you can send out to clients, emails that you can send out to clients, a pitch deck that you can actually, it's a PowerPoint presentation that you can actually present to clients. And so there's a host of different marketing collateral that we are on the cusp of releasing that is scheduled no later than the end of this month. Definitely look for that, and we'll make sure to share it with you. And please work with your account manager if you're already a partner to get your hands on that. So Jonas, now that we've taken some questions and had a little bit of time, I wanted to check back and see where we stood on the restoration.
Okay, let me check. Yep, it looks like they came in a minute ago at 10, actually 2 minutes ago, 10:38. So I can demonstrate.
Okay, awesome. I'll make you the presenter, and then you can show the audience
Sure.
what this restoration actually looks like.
So just to refresh your memory, everyone on the call, I think you can see my screen. We can go to reports here, and then we can look at restore. Or just the dashboard just shows it too. Yeah, everything came over at 10:38. So let's double check to see if that's how that works here. So we'll refresh this view in Outlook, Office 365. And then we'll click on more. And there's the webinar restore. So if you want, you can just drag it back, but it just becomes a folder. That's what I selected. Let me just jump through that really quickly to refresh everyone's memory. Brett. I select it, and then select restore. And remember, I changed this to webinar, so now that data is here as a folder. So I can just drag this to the inbox if I want. And what was it, leads? Yes, we went through leads, and there's Pamela ONB, the one I had deleted. Let's check Google Mail. Refresh. In this example, we used App Exchange email. So there's our webinar restore, and there's our App Exchange email.
Awesome. Very cool. So in a matter of minutes, you're able to restore, whether it's an email from Office 365 or a document from OneDrive or a contact record in Salesforce or an object in Salesforce. In Google Apps, it could be an email, a calendar, whatever it may be, it's backed up and easily restorable. So your clients delete something, they misplace something, Cloudfinder is a definite solution, and with just a few clicks, you can actually restore all of this data, as Jonas just demonstrated. So Jonas, I'm going to switch back over to my screen so we can
Yes.
close out the presentation.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for showing us that. So great. So I encourage everyone on the call today to visit cloudfinder.com for a free trial and a demo account. We'll be following up after the webinar with the recording as well as the slide deck. With that, I conclude today's Expert Series webinar. I want to thank our expert today, Jonas Robledo, for taking us through the Cloudfinder environment. And I also want to thank everybody who attended today's webinar. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.